look me up. Claire, what happened that night?
I don't know.
Claire.
He dragged me. We used to have that stuff for Hippo.
What?
Got a little bottle of someone, and that night he dragged me and I woke up halfway through the night.
That isn't what you told the police.
I can just feel myself being pulled back into him now that he's back in me.
Claire, tell me the truth. Where were you both the night those girls disappeared?
He dragged me. I woke up at 5 a.m. and he was cleaning. He was cleaning the whole house.
Your point is, counsel?
Mrs. Miller is the defendant's wife and as such can't be compelled to give evidence. The Crown will not be calling her, my lady.
She's also one of the key investigating officers. I think the jury deserve to hear what she has to say.
Given my lady has excluded the confession, how can the jury be expected to separate Mrs. Miller's evidence as a wife from that as a police officer?
My rule is to always trust the jury. They're usually pretty smart.
Rohypnol? Did you say Rohypnol?
Yeah, she said she woke up to see him cleaning.
I've said any of that before.
Oh, why are you being such a fuckwit about this?
Sorry?
She lived next door, she had access. Her story's inconsistent. This woman you've been protecting, she's a suspect.
Oh no.
What, you told me you've been protecting her?
Not saying I was keeping her safe so she'd end up Scotland.
How long have you thought this, and why didn't you tell me?
He's always a good man. It's what someone will look at it objectively.
For God's sake!
Well, I just give you.
You're going to be called.
It's time for Miller. We haven't had this.
Stay calm, stick to the facts. Don't get drawn into anything else. Don't get emotional.
I know.
So we've had what's his name twice, so now we've had Alex now, but now it's time for Miller.
The social code should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Police Constable 516, Ellie Miller, attached to Exeter Police Traffic Division, formerly Detective Sergeant attached to Broadchurch, COD.
Wow.
How long have you been married to the defendant, Mrs. Miller?
12 years.
You have 2 children, correct?
Yes, Tom is 13 and huge, and Freddie's nearly 2.
Was it a mutual decision to have children?
I was probably keener, but Joe went along with it.
What sort of relationship did you have with your husband?
Good. I went to work and he looked after the kids. I loved him.
How would you describe your relationship with Mark and Beth Latimer?
We were good friends. Beth and I were in the same NCT group. We had Sunday lunches together. Our boys, Danny and Tom, were best friends.
How curious was your husband about how the investigation was proceeding?
On the day Danny's body was found, he asked if we knew who did it.
Was he interested in forensic evidence?
And when we found the crime scene, he wanted to know what we'd discovered.
And had he demonstrated any interest in forensic evidence prior to this case?
He knew a bit about it because of his job as a paramedic. He'd been called to a few crime scenes. He knew how evidence was gathered and what made it easy or difficult.
Have you had any contact with Mr. Miller since the day of his arrest?
No.
Did you at any time suspect that your husband was involved in the killing of Danny?
I didn't. No, I wish I had.
Why did you attack him, your husband, in the interview room after his arrest?
Because the man I trusted most in the world had killed the son of our best friend.
So you attacked him, not as a policewoman attacking a suspect, but as a wife confronting her husband?
Yes, the police had nothing to do with it. It was about him and me.
Thank you, P.C. Miller. I understand how difficult this must be for you.
It is. It's horrific.
How was your sex life, P.C. Miller?
What the fuck? What the kind of question is
How
that?
would you describe yours?
Not frequent enough, to be honest, but I'm not in the box.
Quite, Miss Bishop.
Did you engage in S&M, bondage, torture fantasies, violent role play?
What kind of question is that?
No, nothing like that.
Did your husband use pornography?
The
No,
f-
up from one time
Frack!
we were giving a DVD. We watched it together and we mostly laughed through it.
Did it involve children?
No.
Gay pornography?
Oh, for God's sake!
Did he show a predilection for images of children?
Not to my knowledge.
Did you either as a wife or a police officer ever discover
do you ever shut
images
up?
of children in your husband's possession?
No.
Now, would you say that you were a good police officer?
I get the job done.
I think you're being modest. Until recently, you've been on a rather strong career path, haven't you?
I did my best.
And yet, as a police officer, you didn't detect any suspicious
Shut up.
behaviour from your husband.
None.
You didn't spot any such behaviours because your
Shut
husband
up.
didn't kill Danny, did he?
He did kill Danny. He's not the person I thought he was.
Are you talking as a wife or as a police officer now?
Oh, shut up!
Did you take a sleeping pill on the night of Danny Latimer's death?
Yes, I get terrible jet lag. I have them prescribed.
You didn't wake up until the next morning, is that correct?
That's right.
So as far as you were concerned, the next morning, he'd been there all night.
That's what I thought at the time, and it turns out not to have been true. Joe knew I'd taken the pills. He must have planned to meet Danny accordingly.
Do you actually know of such a plan?
No.
Then please stick to the facts, P.C. Miller.
What the frack?
When did you and D.I. Hardy first start having an affair? What? Is the affair ongoing?
What?
Can I remind you that you are on oath?
No, we've never had an affair.
Again. Can I remind you, P.C. Miller, that you are on oath?
My lady, where is the evidence?
Coming to that now, my lady.
Well, you won't find any because it never happened.
The night of your husband's arrest, where were you?
We'd gone to a hotel because we had to leave our house. I left my kids with my sister because I went to see Beth, Mrs. Latimer.
Why?
I felt I needed to.
And then what did you do? Where did you go, P.C. Miller?
What's wrong with this?
I went to see D.I. Hardy.
Where? Where did you go to see D.I. Hardy?
At the Traders Hotel.
In his hotel room.
Yes.
Were you alone?
Yes.
How long were you there for?
I don't know.
According to CCTV, you entered the hotel around 11:37 p.m.
You are the most annoying bitch ever!
Over 2 hours. What did you and D.I. Hardy do alone in his hotel room for 2 hours on the
Where
night?
the fuck do you get this crap?
And you'd beaten up the defendant, your husband.
We talked.
You talked.
About the
You
case.
left your 2 children on the night that their father was arrested for well over 2 hours to go and see D.I. Hardy in a hotel to talk.
I needed to make sense of what had happened.
You colluded that night to frame the defendant, your husband, to get him out of the way because you were having an affair with D.I. Hardy, didn't you?
This is how you think you're going to win? By twisting the truth and distorting all our lives?
And isn't it the case that this investigation missed key opportunities and failed to examine leads because it was compromised by your personal liaisons with D.I. Hardy, and together you put the man in the dock?
No, totally untrue. You've got no evidence for this. I am not the guilty one here. I'm not.
Thank you, PC Miller.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Like she said, she's swearing an oath. I am not having an affair with him. I did not collude with him.
Next on
I did
ABC,
not.
while police close in on their murder suspect,
This is Ventus the top.
Michael Gambon and Stanley Tucci starring